we are going to start with some desensitization. So what I'm going to use is this sheet. We've already rolled down Sunny's garments and placed a towel. Her scar, if you can see, is right here, right where my finger is kind of tracing. Well, there are concerns with shelving. They're very minimal to me. So what I'm going to use, if you're about on that 2 to 4 week mark, or you're still experiencing some sensitivity, what you can do is you can use a towel or like a cotton swab and just kind of gently touch around that scar. And then, of course, below that scar, kind of just blotting. If your scar looks like hers, where it's fully healed, there's no open wounds, there's no scabs, we can kind of take a cloth just like back and forth. And this can kind of help to desensitize those nerves and help to bring back that sensation, so that way we have less sensitivity with our clothes, maybe with our underwear, whether we're holding our baby, all along those different lines. So that is one thing that we can start with. Say then we move into that 6 to 12 week mark, then we can actually start mobilizing that tissue. So one thing we can do is we can start pulling away from that scar and creating tension along that tissue away from it, and pulling up and doing the same thing. We can go down. I won't go too far down just for privacy. And then next we can start doing some transfriction massage. So going at an angle, and you can kind of feel as I'm pushing and rolling, your skin is moving great, but for some women this can be really sensitive. So starting out with like a lighter pressure and then easing into more pressure as we push and pull, going up and down and moving just along that scar. I'll spend some more time in areas that are a little bit more sensitive. So say Sunny is feeling more sensitivity along this left side, then I might spend a little bit more time, maybe a little bit more pressure, pushing and moving that scar up. And as you can see, I'm not using any lotions for this part because we really want to make sure that skin is moving and not just like gliding over that skin. The next one that we can do is kind of a circular motion. So this is our deeper pressure. And she might feel this one a little bit more because we're pushing through so many different layers of tissue and into abdominal and pelvic content as well. Right. So this one is a little bit deeper. Your scar is moving so well, though.
I feel like it's tight, like on the edges.
Probably
where like the sutures once were.
Oh, yeah. And so with that, too, then we can do the same thing and kind of pushing and pulling that suture or those edges where it feels tight further away, circling back in, applying that deep pressure, and working through these techniques for about 5 to 10 minutes a day. The important thing is too, is as we get comfortable doing it laying down, we might want to try doing it seated or standing. Yep. So that we're not just used to doing it laying down. You can also bolster your hips up so that we can work more into that lumbar extension and get used to having the abdominal content more open, or like the abs more stretched, essentially.
What do you think, like a pillow or a roller?
A roller. And so that is one other technique we can use.